Hi. Oh man. Hi. You may or may not know that my name is Larkin. That is my first name. That is my government name. That is the name I've had since I was born. I did not give that name to myself. We can thank my mom for that. And this is going to be part of the topic of the conversation. Many people have asked me since I started having a business on the internet called Larkin and Larkin, where I got the name Larkin and Larkin from. What does it mean? Is it two of you? Is it you and somebody else? Is it you and a family member? Is it you and your husband? Who's Ann Larkin? The great mystery shall be revealed. Ann Larkin is actually my mom. And I'm going to tell you how I got to that story right now. Somebody's doing garbage outside. All right. So back in about 2004, I got a new coworker. I worked at an Italian restaurant downtown in Atlanta, and we turned out to both smoke. At the time, pot was contraband. It was like totally illegal, as it still is probably in Georgia. And it was kind of hard to get. Atlanta really is a coke town. So, and everybody drinks a lot. If you smoke pot, people are like, yeah, I gave that up in 8th grade. So when you meet somebody else that smokes pot and they have like a good pot connection, that was a really big deal back then. So rewind back to 2004, 2005. I got this, 2003, 2004-ish. I got this new coworker, and it turned out we both smoked. And after I proved myself to be cool to her, she was like, hey, I'll introduce you to my guy. And then I met him, and he went by the name The Wolf, as he said it. And he was cool. I met him a couple times through her, and then met him a couple times on my own. He always picked the sketchiest places. Like, his spot at first was outside of Mix, downtown, 5 Points, at like 9:30 at night on a Friday, which is heavily policed and not a place that you feel like doing the illegal deal. But okay, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, right? And after a couple times of meeting with him like that, he was like, you know what? Why don't you just come over to my apartment? Well, here's a word of warning to everyone, but particularly young women, because we can't really fight a man like another man can if we have to. And I'm not saying we have to fight men. But don't go to strangers' apartments alone. It's just not a good look. And even if you think, hey, I've met this guy a few times, whatever, like, I didn't know this guy. And I didn't know, I mean, he goes by the name The Wolf, right? Like, if anything happens, when we say, the wolf got me. No, I'm not going to say that. The police are going to laugh at me. So I did what anybody would do who's smart and who realizes that somebody is a lot less likely to kill you or rape you or cut you up and eat you in a pot and put you in a fridge if you have your mom with you. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever been like kidnapped and killed and eaten when their mom was there. I feel like that's kind of a guarantee. Like, you'd have to be really fucking stone cold to hurt somebody in front of their own mom, maybe in front of your mom if your mom's like down, but in front of their mom, that's like a whole other level, right? So my mom's always down. She's like, I'll come. And we get to the place, which was this apartment building that was probably from like the 60s on this road that ran between Auburn and Edgewood. None of this has been there for like over 10 years. So if you're new to Atlanta, don't even try to piece it together what I'm telling you. But if you know, then you know. So I can't even explain it. I don't know. If you don't know, you just don't know. But it used to be quite hood. So my mom and I go over there, and we brace ourselves. We don't know what we're getting into. You never know what you're getting into in Atlanta back in 2003, 2004 when you're going over a strange weed man's house for the first time. You never know what you're gonna get. This is like the ultimate box of chocolates Okay. So we go over there, and the wolf comes to the door, and the wolf says, "Hey, Larkin!" And I'm like, "Hey, remember? Yeah, we know each other. This is my mom." And my mom, I'm not going to say my mom's name because you know what? She doesn't really do the internet. She's kind of hippie. She's like not down with Big Brother. But her name rhymes with scary, and she is. So, and this is like an additional part. If your mom's not scary, or your mom is like secretly a hater, your mom might actually get you killed. I don't know. Maybe don't bring her anywhere, right? But my mom is a hippie, a stoner who doesn't trust the government, hilarious and terrifying. So she's like perfectly good to bring to the pot guy's house, and we'll kill him if that's what needs to be done. Because honestly, you don't know when you're going to a strange man's house. They could be a raper, a taker, a candlestick maker. And by candlestick, I mean murdering you and chopping you up and melting down your fat and putting it in candlesticks because you don't know. It's strangers. So, yeah. So we're there at the door. I say to my mom, I say to the wolf, "Hey, it's me, Larkin." He's like, "Hey, Larkin, Larkin!" He said he's like a clown, like a cartoon, like a human cartoon called the wolf, obviously. So I say to my mom, "This is my mom, Scary." And the wolf says, "Ah, hey, Scary, come on in, Larkin and Larkin." And I'm like, that was weird. But we go in. His girlfriend comes out. He's probably in his mid-40s at this point. She's like 19, 20. But he's like, "Hey, Shantae, this is Larkin. This is Larkin's mom, Scary. Larkin and Larkin." And she's like, "Hey, Larkin and Larkin." And I'm like, whoa, this is like, it just started, but it's already taking off. And it's totally weird. It doesn't really make sense because our names are Larkin and Scary. But he's just decided to rebrand us as Larkin and Larkin. And neither of us was really mad about it. I was like, okay. So we get back to the car, and I'm like, what is this Larkin and Larkin? Like, do you think he's brain dead? She's like, I don't know, but that's fine. I don't need my name in anything. Like, keep me off the books. Nobody needs to know my government name. Nobody needs to know where I've been. Okay? So I'm like, all right. So then as time progresses, I meet him places. I bring people over. I introduce him to a lot of people. I bring him fresh clientele. And he's like, every time I come to the door, Larkin and Larkin. And when I'm with other people, Larkin and Larkin. And I'm like, wow, is it just like me and whoever I'm with is Larkin and Larkin? But then I'd call him and he'd answer the phone, Larkin and Larkin. And every time I heard it, I was like, God, that sounds good. So it just sounded good to me. I mean, not to be a jerk, but like it did. I didn't know. It sounded like a law firm. And I was like, wow, it sounds smooth, Not to get high on my own bullshit, but it did sound smooth. So I just let it ride. And people would come with me and be like, why does he call you Larkin and Larkin? I'm like, I don't know, but don't question greatness. It's fine. And my mom was like, I don't think he has any idea what my name is. Like, I think he's fucking brain dead. I'm like, who cares, right? So years of this goes on. Like, probably 6, 7 years, right? Every time, Larkin and Larkin, Larkin and Larkin. Now, meanwhile, I've like started doing some business as Larkin and Larkin. I might have like opened my Etsy shop, but I wasn't really using it. But like it was there. Like the Larkin and Larkin was like, it was what was meant to be. So then one day, we're convinced he just doesn't know her name. He's just like, we told him the first time that she was Scary, and like within 10 seconds, he forgot when he told his girlfriend. So he just like said, you know what, forget him. Like he probably doesn't know. We're not going to burst his bubble and make him feel silly. So then fast forward these years, and we go over one night, and he's having a party. So at the time, like just for Atlanta references, we lived on we lived in Reynoldstown. I can give you the address, guys, because I don't know. But we lived in Reynoldstown, and so did he at the time, closer to Capital. So we walked over there. And as you will do at such places, people usually use the back door. That's common. So we went into the back door, and it turned out they were having a little bit of a gathering. Like, not quite party level, but there was a good bit of people there, probably like 20, all in the kitchen, which was in the back of the house. And we got to the door, and the wolf opened the door, and he said, "Larkin and Larkin!" And we were like, "Hi!" And everybody looked at us like, wow, they're both named Larkin? And then he turned to everybody and he was like, "Everybody, meet Larkin and Scary. Larkin and Scary, meet everybody. Larkin and Larkin." And we were like, what the fuck? He has known this whole time that her name is actually rhymes with scary. And he just somehow, like, knew that Larkin and Larkin was better. And we were like, wow. And my mom was like, he knew all along. And I was like, this is just so good and pure. So then that was that. It was just Larkin and Larkin faded. And I haven't been able to come up with anything better. At times I think, wow, I must look like some sort of narcissist that likes to look at themselves in three-way mirrors and do that app with multiple pictures of themselves and take selfies, but I'm not that person. And I've had a couple moments where I'm like, should I change my internet name? But then I'm like, you know what? No, because Larkin and Larkin is Larkin and Scary as divined from the wolf. And if that's not like a mythological tale, I don't know what you want from me. The end.